always respect people who walk up to a climb and do it well and do it quickly. It's really hard when you're, 7 bolts into a climb and you're stuck and you can't get to the next bolt and you just have to clip up or skip it and come back to it at the next time. And mentally that's challenging because you start to doubt yourself. I struggle a lot with self-doubt and wondering if this is the right route for me and should I be doing it faster. The idea of projecting actually was hard for me to break into. The challenge of it is something I struggle with, the mental challenge. You're progressing through the project process and you're following on one move or one crux move, and it just feels like you won't have the endurance or the strength when you get to that point to continue it. But then ultimately when you break through that, there's nothing else like it. One thing Jailhouse is really known for is knee barring, and it's definitely something that I had trouble getting into. Knee barring is very much a part of this crag. The grades include them, and there's mixed feelings. I will say there are people who come here and choose not to use knee bars. The climbs go significantly harder without them. For me personally, knee barring was something I was kind of against and tried as much as possible to avoid them as long as I could. Juice was the first climb I got on where I couldn't do all the moves right off the dog on my first try up it. In fact, I skipped moves, I grabbed chains and wouldn't clip the bolt. It was the first time where I couldn't do the moves, and that's hard when you're getting on a route, when you're looking at 100 feet of climbing or 90 feet of climbing and you're stuck at the 3rd bolt and you can't do the move, or the 5th bolt and you can't do the move and you're staring up at 4 more bolts. It was definitely a learning experience, and I almost didn't get back on it after the first go because I thought it would be too hard. And that wasn't the first time I nearly walked away from it, but it was the first time where I couldn't do the moves. And that's hard when you're looking at 100 feet of climbing or 90 feet of climbing and you're stuck at the 3rd bolt and you can't do the move, or the 5th bolt and you can't do the move and you're staring up at 4 more bolts. Once I'd figured out most of the moves and you think you've got the beta and you start working it, and then you figure out that the beta that you tried didn't work, that was really frustrating for me on Juice. There was this one section where there are 2 sort of standard ways to do it, but I couldn't do it the way they both went, and I had to figure out my own beta, and that was mentally very frustrating, and falling that low on a route made me really doubt whether I could do it. After one day of climbing there, I pretty much was sure it was never going to go and I wanted to walk away. My husband told me that he was certain that I could do it and I just needed to give it a few more goes. And I think it was actually on the next few goes that I figured out that section and found one more piece of small beta, a different foot, a different hand, and it unlocked it, and went very quickly after that.